Hey, Get Fit champion, Jackie Elmer here today to talk to you about how to handle eating out, food choices, and fast food. Um, as I've mentioned before, I am a foodie. I love to eat out. I love to entertain. I love to do all of that. And I've also learned that it's not always the best for my ultimate self image of who I am, who I want to become, and how I want to feed and fuel my body that's optimal. So, I'm going to give you some quick hacks that you can do. Now, typically, when I eat out, if it's a sit down restaurant, nicer dining, my options are better. But I default so often to salmon and a salad. And I very often, it's not unusual for me to bring my own balsamic vinaigrette that's mixed up. I toss it in my purse so that I know that I'm having olive oil or avocado oil, because I personally don't do super good with canola oil. And that's very often what's used, or just vegetable oil in restaurants, even the finer restaurants. Don't be afraid to ask questions about what's in food. But olive oil can be tricky too, because often it is mixed with other oils. So you have to know what's going on within a kitchen to really understand that. But make some good food choices. So salmon with lemon on the side that I can squirt on it, a salad, steamed broccoli. Those are typically my go-to choices when I eat out if I really want to stay within the range. Now, it depends on what you eat. I'm not a beef eater. Nothing wrong with it. I just don't care for it personally, but I love lamb. So I will order lamb often if it's on the menu. So again, I'm a big fan of healthy fats. I'm not opposed to animal protein. I'm like anybody. I like more sustainable, naturally sourced meat products. Unfortunately, the factory farming that goes on leaves a lot to be desired in terms of it's not only what we eat, it's what we eat has eaten, but that's a whole nother topic. I'm not going to get into all that here today, but make those best choices for yourself, balancing out your plate with a healthy protein and healthy slow carbs, vegetables. Try to avoid the bread basket, the chips and salsa basket, note to self, or any of those derailing things. Even potatoes and rice, those can be high glycemic. You have to be careful of those. So if you're really looking to lose weight, or release weight, as I like to say, focus on a healthy protein, good slow carbs and healthy fats. Even a side of avocado is fantastic. So those are some ideas on eating out. When you're forced with fast food, again, make the best choices that you can. I like to default to places like Subway, where I can convert it into a salad, and I can be super particular with choosing a lot from the garden, as they like to run it through, with much more vegetables, sliced or smoked turkey, and maybe a healthier cheese, those type options. So do the best that you can with fast food. But I've mentioned before my shots, how I like to do shots. I always carry my little Bragg apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon mixed with water, and I like to douse that. I carry it in my purse. I will douse that about 10 minutes before I have a meal, especially those times when I know I'm going to have extra carbs. I'm going to be eating those things that I don't want. I'm going to allow that to settle into my bloodstream, send that message that food is coming, but slow down the release of insulin into my body. And then I travel with stuff. I've mentioned before olives. Olives are one of my go-to choices. I just throw them in a little container that I travel with. The fat bombs that I've mentioned, I'm actually headed down to my parents today to run my dad to doctor's appointments. And so these are things that I'm actually packing. I always travel with some fat bombs, travel with some olives. I've mentioned my bulletproof coffee. I will also put my bulletproof coffee in my Starbucks mug and carry it right into Starbucks a lot of times, and then order just a plain iced tea with no sweetener if I'm not looking to add anything to what I'm doing. I've mentioned my seed cycling. This is another thing that I have ready here. It looks kind of crazy on video, but it's all my seeds. It's some macadamia and pistachio nuts, blueberries, raspberries, shredded coconut, a little bit of coconut milk, some almond butter, and then I mix it all up and it tastes fabulous. You will find this on my blog. But that's another go-to. And by the way, this freezes brilliantly. And I travel with this on airplanes all the time. I will freeze it, take it out, and By the time 3, 4 hours comes along and I'm well into my flight, I pop it out and I have a very healthy, nutritious, and satiating meal because it has chia seeds, hemp seeds, and healthy fats that satiate me that aren't going to spoil. I use coconut milk, which can remain out for a long, long time, and it travels extremely well. And then my go-to, I always travel with nuts. I never leave home without nuts. So that worst case scenario, I have something that's going to satisfy my hunger and stave off more hunger pangs for a long time. So again, when you eat out, it's great. Do the best that you can to plan ahead. Hey, you know what? All of us have those times when we're just enjoying a celebration where we kind of have to throw caution to the wind and let things go. But I will tell you, I always feel better, even if it's a placebo, when I do my little vinegar, my apple cider vinegar shot before I start indulging at the Mexican fiesta and those chips and salsa, just call my name, or I'm going to indulge in a margarita or something like that. So those are my ideas. I have never hesitated. I save my little Lululemon bag that I love coming into. I can carry this into any restaurant or store and have some of my little snacks in there so that I can have little things to accompany the meal that I ordered there that are also going to help balance out my macros and my nutrients. All right. If you have any questions or comments or even suggestions, I would love to hear those. Just reply back to the email, share those, and I will see you tomorrow.